Alright guys, so this is Kali Linux running on Hyper-V in Windows. Of course you can use VirtualBox or VMware, so there are multiple options. You can just download on the Kali website, so let's go ahead and install the necessary tools for reverse engineering. First of all, let's check the Java version. Java 21, okay, it's all good. Let's check for updates. Alright, no updates. So now we can install the necessary tools. We can go ahead and grab proper version of APK Tools right here. Okay, download it. Let's rename the APK tool to just apktool.jar. Let's copy this to this folder to be able to execute it easily. Now we need to actually grab the APK tool wrapper. And guys, you can get it from this URL, but make sure that you navigate to scripts, Linux APK tool. For example, here you can also go to OS X or Windows, but yes, for our case, we need to use APK tool, but just press here, row. Otherwise, you're gonna get the HTML version of this page, which is incorrect. Okay, we got it. Let's just move it to USR local bin. Let's add the executable permission for this APK tool wrapper. Done. Let's check the version. So this is the version of APK tool we got, and it should work fine for our purposes. Back to my home directory, and I'm going to prepare my system for Android platform tools. Let's create the directory which is called Android. Let's download the platform tools. Okay, now let's unzip it. Okay, now we need to set the environmental variables, right? Right, let's go back to the home directory. We have zsh file for environmental variables. In your case, it might be bashrc, but in this case, this is Kali Linux. So here we're gonna use the zsh nano zshrc. So we have just added those lines to the end of the zshrc. Let's save it. Let's basically do source zshrc to apply it. Okay, now we should be able to type adb devices, let's say, and it should work. Yes, so the command works right now, but of course we have no devices right now because this is not set up yet. But this is how easily you can set up your platform tools on your machine. Okay, now if we type, let's say, emulator, it's gonna say, okay, emulator not found, do you want to install it? No, we're not gonna install it this way, because typically when you install it like this, it might be not the latest version, and we need the latest version, and this is not the proper way to install it here, so let's do proper way of installation of the emulator and AVD stuff. Now guys, we need to grab the command line tools to be able to work with emulator, with AVD manager, which means virtual machines for the emulator. So we need to grab it from this URL right here. And I'm going to download to the Android folder in my home directory. Let's unzip it. Now, if we navigate to Android folder, we can see CMD line tools folder here. Let's navigate here. Let's create the latest folder and let's just move this stuff here to the latest. So latest, and if we go here, we can see the bin folder, and we have AVD manager, we have SDK manager, and we have a bunch of other stuff right here that we need for our work. Guys, we need to add a couple more lines to zshrc, so it now loads the CMD line tools and also emulator. So we should be able to access those utilities easily. So let's go ahead and exit, and let's type, for example, SDK manager version. So it works fine, and AVD manager, and it shows like this. So it's all good. We should be able to run those commands now and install emulator and other stuff. If you type SDK manager emulator in quotes, it's gonna install the emulator right here. Accept, yes, and it's gonna download the emulator stuff. Okay guys, so let's grab the image that we want. Let's say this one, SDK manager, Android 31, Google APIs, x86, let's see. Okay, accept. We can now check that those images were actually installed. If we go to system images, we can see Android 30 and Android 31 actually download two of those. We should be able to create actual virtual devices based on those Android images. Let's go ahead and create an actual device based on our Android API image. Seems like I need to add Android SDK home in order to get the proper emulator list AVDs command execution. Okay, and now I got it. Now let's try to run it. As you can see, after running emulator AVD and the name of the emulator, it just showed me this exact error. And this error means that you need to properly configure your VM to have VTX emulation layer enabled so that it actually starts fine. In this case, it doesn't start, but in VirtualBox and VMware, if you enable it properly, then it's gonna start fine. So we're just gonna skip this part here. Guys, you should be able to fully run it if you have specific flags enabled in your system, in your either host system, and host system is gonna run just fine, but in a VM, as you can see, it may just have some problems. Let's install Frida tools. For that, we need to create the virtual environment. Let's do like this and like this. Let's first upgrade pip to make sure that everything is up to date. Okay, pip 25.3. Now let's install the Frida tools themselves. Okay, installed. Let's double check that Frida is installed. Okay, Frida is installed. And if we run it like this, it should show the available USB devices to debug, but we have no USB devices to debug yet because our emulator is not started, so we can just quit. Now let's install Objection. pip3 install Objection. And Objection is a wrapper for Frida tools, guys, so we need it as well. Okay, let's deactivate this virtual environment. Okay, guys, now let's install Ghidra. Install Ghidra. So Ghidra is something that we're gonna use to debug C++ native libraries. Okay, so Ghidra is now installed and you can run it from here. So it should work just fine. So yeah, we have Ghidra installed on our machine. Now let's install the mitmproxy, which is a tool to intercept network traffic between our Android emulator, let's say, and backend. And let's make sure that all packages are installed. Okay. Let's go back to our virtual Python environment to install mitmproxy as well. pip3 install mitmproxy. Okay guys, so it's now installed. We type deactivate. Alright, so we installed the most common utilities we need for reverse engineering Android applications. There are much more, and I actually encourage you to just observe and see more scripts, more utilities for Android debugging. For now, I think that's it, and you can actually use it in our practice. For the future videos and for previous videos, you can take a look how we debug the Android applications. Thank you guys for watching, see you soon and bye.